How did Piolo help you in guiding? Because he was like the more experienced actor, diba? Of course, there was also Zanjo, diba? But the love team was really Piolo. So how was he able to help you? Sige, cheers tayo. Importante na to.
Kailangan ko ng mga one sip nito. Wait lang.
We are talking about how Piolo Pascual helped you in filming Lovers in Paris.
So I think that it was actually our personal relationship that helped me with my acting career. Not in the sense of like, you know, the publicity. No, that it wasn't about that for me, actually. The relationship is very real for me. And I think it was with my experiences with him on a personal level, just, you know, being in a relationship, and then in the end, alam mo na yung masaktan, alam mo na yung feeling na, alam mo yung ganon, yung parang nawala sa'yo yung isang tao na minahal mo talaga and all of that. I think that experience with him helped me open up and really get to know myself.
Wow. Beautiful.
During that time, it was really Direct FM that helped me with my role. Piolo he's not the type of actor na makikialam and will cross the line. He's very respectful on set. So he would leave it to the director talaga. And I would always learn by observation, and diba, husay-husay niya. I mean, you know, there's actors na you just watch them, yung mata lang nila says a lot na. So that stillness of Piolo, that stillness and yung mata niya, nakikita. Yun
Jessa Samson, all caps, bite the bullet, Kleng. Sabi niya, bite the bullet. What was his pagka maging mahusay part of the attraction to him? I mean, like, when did you become attracted to him? Did you become attracted to him during filming, or was it after filming? When did the attraction start for you to Piolo?
This is so interesting. I don't think I've ever been asked that question. Paano ba? Buti na lang wala pa akong asawa, no? Kasi bawal kong pag-usapan. Papawalan. Nahihiya ako.
No, because we're talking about it on the background of the first teleserye.
I love it because I love it. Nobody's asked me that question. Why am I going to talk about it? Because it was a part of my life, right?
Yes, of course.
I think this kind of conversation really, you know, helps people get to know me more. First part naman yun talaga ng buhay ko. That's my truth. I think with Piolo, there was a time he visited me on set when I was doing my movie with Chard. And, kakatawa. Ito na lang yung pinag-usapan natin.
Yan yung sa Grease, diba? Yung kay Chard.
Oo. And then...
Nagustuhan mo yung movie na yon?
Ha?
Nagustuhan mo yung movie na yon?
Oo naman.
Napanood ko yung premiere nun, in fairness. Yun yung parang kinarga-karga ka niya sa ano niya, diba? Anyway, we're digressing. Okay, so
first two projects ko na, first two acting projects ko.
With Chard.
Movie. Wala pa akong alam sa pag-aarte sa TV. Galing akong MTV VJ ako.
Correct.
And ito talaga yung first. Lovers in Paris was my first teleserye. And then for the first time in Santorini with Chard was my first movie. So ito talaga throwback. Pero he visited me once on set with Direct Joyce Bernal. Tawag-tawa ako sa sarili ko. I mean, looking back, naalala ko pa, sabi ko, Direct Joyce, who's that guy? Sabi niya, oh, his name is Piolo, but people call him PJ. Pag close na kayo, PJ, pero hindi pa kayo close, so Piolo. Okay, and then sabi niya, bakit? Sabi ko, para siyang may halo. Gumanon talaga ako. Like, I remember that. Sabi ko, para siyang may halo. Like, parang may light. Gumanon ako. So, parang at ko, tinamaan pala ako. Yun pala yun. And then, there lang. Like, patiently waiting lang. And he wasn't making pakialam kasi hindi naman niya movie yun. Being a gentleman. He was just being respectful. So, he stayed outside. And then, we met. And then, we ended up having common friends. But I think we met already before that. But parang, we met already before that. I was 18, my debut. And then I didn't speak to him for the whole time I was in college. And then when I saw him again, I was like, is that the same guy? And so it was very real for me. You know, that was like my first announced relationship.
And
And
I've seen you together. I mean, like in the balls, in the Star Magic Balls, we'd work together a lot. Like kayong dalawa, ginagamit kong host. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful relationship. I mean, I've seen it up close. And, you know, there is really no reason to doubt the authenticity and the realness of the relationship. Because for the people that know you the most, it was a thing that was real. And I mean, like, it, diba?
felt much from showbiz growing up that I
Yeah.
didn't even get Mond and
Rufa
Chard.
Gutierrez is saying, really now. Rufa, say hi to
Oh my
Rufa.
God! Speaking of Ate Roof, I didn't. I was so disconnected from showbiz growing up that I didn't even know that Mond and Chard were twins. I
What?
didn't. Yeah, I was so like so sheltered talaga from showbiz. My mom didn't really
Okay.
want showbiz kasi.
Anyway, we digress. So back to Piolo.
Oh my God. Ako. Yeah, so
Wait, cheers tayo, girl. Cheers, B.
excuse me. Why are you asking about Piolo?
Kasi ikaw nag-open ka eh. Hindi ko naman tatanungin dapat in-open up mo. Tapos yung mga fans mo nagwawala na. Parang PJ and ano.
Sabi mo, Lovers in Paris.
That was part of your career trajectory, di ba? Anyway, di ba, we can stop talking about him if you don't want to talk about him. I mean, you've had, you know, also a lot of milestones in your life, in showbiz, outside of showbiz after that. But I mean, like, that was that was a watershed moment in your career in showbiz.
Oh,
Everybody was, talagang yun talaga pinanood ng mga, because it involved such big personalities, huge personalities, and we were also invested in the relationship. Whatever you say, invested lahat ng tao talaga. Kahit sino magsalita, invested lahat ng tao sa relationship ni Piolo. So when you finally broke up, what was the process like for you? I mean, like, still being able to see him around and, you know, parang isa pa ring industry tayo.
Oh, you know, Piolo's always been very, very gentle. I think, you know, it was announced publicly. It was very unexpected for me. Actually, kung alam niyo lang din yung kwento ng announcement na yon, it's crazy din. Kaya natulala talaga ako ng time na yun. There was a time that I didn't really know that we were still together. Because in fact, we were together like a few months. We were together already a few months before it had been announced. And then um and then and then there was a sort of breakup before the announcement on TV. And I was a host on that show. And when he got on that show, he was gonna promote his album. So nagulat ako when tinanong siya, is it true? Ganun, ganun. Sobrang sweet pa nung pagkakasabi niya kasi. Na parang I was stunned because I didn't realize that, you know, that we were still trying. Kasi to be honest, behind the scenes, we already were together and then did not stay together. And then suddenly, you know, he announced that we were together. So at the time, I took it as, you know, he wanted to really try. So that's why parang natulala talaga ako. And then he just hugged me talaga. Tapos nagyakapan na lang kami. Because I was like, oh, okay, you want to try again? It was very real for me.
Nakakakilig. Super.
Of course. You know, BJ is a wonderful guy today.
I love him. I mean, I will defend him to death also. I think a lot of people if not all the people in the industry love him because he's really the kuya of the industry. Mabait na tao, wala kang masasabi talaga. But of course, like any other...
There's a
Go
reason
ahead.
we ended up together for me. You know, there's a reason why. I mean, people have so many things to say about him. And I always say, alam mo yon, may pinagsamahan kami. Show
Yes.
side. May pinagsamahan talaga kami. He's like 10 years older than me. But, you know, he started out like a kuya to me. So, I know exactly what people love about him. And you know, people know naman that, you know, it was very real for me and I was so young and naive and it was announced publicly. That's why it also had to be
Be
announced.
very public, yeah.
Kasi no one was saying that we were not together anymore. And there were all these endorsements lined up for us kasi nung time na yun. And I didn't know how else to kind of like let the brands know na this is very hard for me because I can't pretend. I cannot act on set. I cannot act like we're together just to sell something and to be connected to I mean, other people would, right? But I think I was also very honest with myself at the time, and I just said, "There's no way that I could
Yes,
continue
I
because
understand.
that we're not together."
I understand. I
Also,
mean,
that's the reason why it had to be publicly announced. Because it was also publicly announced nung naging kami. So
totoo.
if
Totoo.
there's no need, diba, to take your losses publicly.
That's true. I mean, the end was public because the beginning was also very public. Do you ever regret giving that the Buzz interview? I mean, like, when you think about it, do you ever regret it? Or was it something that you felt like at the time you really needed to do?
Girl, wait, I'll have another 5 sips of this, ha? Or,
Cheers! I'll drink with you to that.
I regret that we had to end. I think that in any relationship, you really have faith in it, right? And you go into it not thinking that you want to end it. You go into it thinking that you want it. So I think more than the interview, I mean, on a personal level, you just regret that it had to end.
That's
But
true.
I had to say that we were not together anymore because it was hard for me already to be accepting the endorsements, knowing that, yeah, I had a choice whether to keep it from my fans, our fans, diba? Or to let them in on the truth. Kasi, parang, I don't wanna, I just wanna be honest and share my life in a way that's as, as authentic as possible.
Authentically. I mean, because he was also such a beloved person in show business, did you feel that people were taking his side when that ended? Huh?
Sabi,
No, beloved ka rin. Siyempre, I'm just saying na Piolo was also very beloved. I mean, like, we all, you are our darling. We saw you growing up. But, I mean, like, after that interview, it really, parang people felt bad also for him. So, parang nagkaroon talaga ng factions. Do you remember? Nagkaroon ng factions. And
of
how do you
course,
feel about...
but I think until you know what two people go through behind closed doors,
That's
you have
true.
to an opinion
That's
because
true.
you never know what goes on behind closed doors. And the breakup could have been worse. The breakup could have been worse, And I think that in any breakup between two people that really loved each other, I think it's a very tough situation for friends. It's always going to be a tough situation for friends and for the people that.
Yeah. I mean, just to end this segment, because, at least you've spoken about it now.
I have no
How are
problem.
you and,
So much
how are
time.
you Kaya nga, how are you and PJ now? Do you still get to talk? Are you friends on Facebook? Do you follow each other on Instagram? What is your relationship with PJ now?
As with any breakup, you cannot be best friends with an ex unless you didn't feel. I mean, the only way. I mean, we're civil. We're okay. Like there, we had our little quality time in London when we did London, and it was a really funny, nice catch up after everything. He asked if we could talk, and without saying too much, we were able to talk a little bit, and I really appreciate the times that PJ still opens up to me, and he knows he knows that I know him. He knows that I care for him for who he truly is. Whatever he goes through with anything, family or anything, he knows that I will always, be watching him from afar, and I will.
Oh,
That's
girl,
true.
naiyak ako.
I know.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Alam mo, Case B, that's a beautiful thing to be able to reach that position. I mean, like to be able to be, you know, friends who look at each other from afar and not feel any hurt anymore. I mean, like it takes a lot of growth, a lot of maturity. And I think that's what makes you beautiful at this time and this time right now, because you've obviously, you know, learned so much from everything that you've went through, the lessons you learned in love. And, you know, I just admire you for being so open. Can you believe it's already been an hour?
What? That's it? I'm not even done.
Do you want to do extension?
We can, if we're allowed.
Do you want to extend? Kasi Instagram only allows 1 hour for live.
Yeah,
Gusto mo pa ba? Game ka pa?
Girl, siguro naman kasi wala na tayong pinag-usapan kundi si PJ, no?
Sabi ni I Love Rufa G, Casey speaks so well. Taray.
Ate
Gusto mo Wait, Cassandra, gusto mo ba mag-extend? Isa pa?
Sige.
O sige, tapusin muna natin to. Ha?
For you, B. Sige, mag-extend ako.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love it. Ikaw lang yung nag-extend for me. Anyway, B, just to end this hour, oh my God, mapupuyat kita. Just to end this hour, I mean, what is the greatest thing you learned about being and falling out of love with Piolo Pascual?
With him specifically, my God.
Yes, to close the segment. What is the best thing that you learned about being in love with him, falling in love with him, falling out of love with him? Ano yung pinaka natutunan mo?
Wait lang,
5 minutes na lang. Bilis ako sumagot.
Hinihintay kong makatayo ng Instagram.
O para iba na pag-usapan natin in our second hour.
Ano ulit yung tanong? Grabe.
Ano natutunan mo kay Papa P?
Natutunan ko kay Papa P. Madami. Talaga ako. I think it's more of that you have to trust that if a person really loves you, no matter what, that person will, like, ano ba? Hirap nito, ha?
True, medyo. Mahirap.
I'll be safe na lang about it. I think that what I learned is when two people, nobody's, you know, we all go through things in life. Whatever you go through, you will bring into the relationship that you have. So you have to make peace with the things you went through before you go into a relationship. Kasi kung hindi, bit mo yun.
Kargada, baggage.
Yun. So I think like what I learned is you will take with you the things that you have not settled in your life if you're not honest with yourself and your partner. Oh, diba? Say.
Yes.
Parang, and so, sayang, diba? Like, don't waste something in the short term. Parang, don't waste what can be in the long term for something that is so short term. Parang ganon.
Okay. With that, we will end our first hour with Christina Cassandra Coneto Concepcion, Pascual. Char.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to do a bathroom break and then we'll come back together in maybe 5 minutes?
So funny. Sure. Sige.
Okay, refill na your drink. Do you have ice with you or you don't need ice?
I don't need ice. I'm okay.
Okay, I'm gonna see you in 5 minutes. Do your banyo break. I'll do my banyo break. I'll get some more ice. And cheers, B.
See you later, B.
See you in a bit.
Ciao.
Ciao.